Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here tonight. You heard Terrica say that I had the opportunity to publish my first compilation of poetry when I was 14 as the result of not having any type of social life. So, and that continues. I'm 25 now, so nothing's changed. I want to start off by quoting one of my favorite poems, and one that you all are probably very familiar with. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? I wrote a letter to my future black daughter yesterday, and as I composed it, I thought about other mothers like Mamie Till. Emmett Lewis Till was born to Mamie Till on July 25th, 1941. And on that day, the world most likely stood still, as firstborn sons have that quality about themselves, that inherent ability to change our perception of everything around us. And it's quite possible that as part of her maternal nature, she envisioned a life, a career, and a future for her firstborn son. But I am willing to guarantee that she never envisioned it in me. And even if she had, there's no way that a woman who had prepared herself to be the vessel for his entrance into this life could have had the capacity to imagine an ending like Emmett Till's. Shot, defaced, beaten beyond recognition, tied up with barbed wire, dumped into the Tallahatchie River, and left to die. And I wondered, what kind of letter had she written to her son? What was her opening paragraph? How did she close it? On February 5th, 1995, Trayvon Benjamin Martin was born to Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin. On February 26, 2012, a neighborhood watch captain named George Zimmerman called 911 to report a suspicious person in the neighborhood. He followed Martin, although specifically instructed to do the absolute opposite by the 911 dispatcher. To this day, all of the occurrences are still blurred, but the facts remain. George Zimmerman is walking free, and 17-year-old Trayvon Martin lost his life. Not because he was a threat, not because he was violent, but because in America, being black is crime enough. Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, and a host of other young black Americans are living testament to that fact. How is it that having watched so many things change and evolve, race relations have remained safely tucked away in a time capsule? How is it that nearly 60 years after the death of a young black boy sparked a revolutionary civil rights movement, we are watching history repeat itself? How many times will the bell toll for yet another black life prematurely confiscated merely because its blackness distracted people from its value? What kind of letter did Sabrina write to her son, Trayvon? What were her dreams for him? And in that letter, did she ever have the heart or the courage to indicate the possibility that he might not ever be? I wrote a letter to my future black daughter yesterday. I've already picked out her name. I already envisioned countless conversations that I plan to have with her. I've already imagined all of the truths and the values that I plan to instill in her, many of which my mother instilled in me. My spirit is already deeply intertwined with hers. My life is already dedicated by and impacted by hers. My personal significance is already diminished so that hers can take precedence in my life. I wrote a letter to my future black daughter yesterday, and in it I wanted to make promises. I wanted to make 1 million commitments. I wanted to offer her 100,000 certainties. I wanted to promise her every possible positive outcome of the American dream that there is. But by the end, I had merely compiled a list of apologies. Apologies for the harsh reality that she would be subjected to. Apologies for the judgments and criticisms that she may incur. Apologies for bringing her into a world that is still not prepared to see her for all of the greatness that she possesses merely for the fact that she is black like me. I don't know about you, but I owe my future black daughter more than a list of heartfelt apologies and broken promises. Bringing a black daughter into this world is my dream. And so I ask, what happens to a dream deferred? When I was approached with this opportunity, I was informed of the topic, the state of black youth in America. And in my heart, I knew that God had preordained this opportunity, not just for me, but for everyone in this room. And the first thought that came to my mind was Langston Hughes' powerful poem, A Dream Deferred. We are a collection of deferred dreams. We are hanging on to a threadbare stitch of fabric woven from unfulfilled visions. Dreams with violent currents, but no souls brave enough to ride the waves. Dreams with electric potential, but no available outlet. Dreams that have forced us into a state of chronic psychological insomnia. We are wide awake. Dreams that incessantly nag our brains with questions for which there are no visible answers, problems for which there are no seemingly feasible solutions. Our youth, our kids, are trying to cash in on promises and dreams of generations before them, and they are finding that America's dream factory is bankrupt. So they're scraping what they can, living on the crumbs of promises. There is no worse feeling, let me tell you, there's no worse feeling than a promise that you thought you could count on. The void created from a promise that you thought you could count on. We have promised this generation some things. We have not delivered. We have offered them all of the glitz and glamour of the American dream, and every day they are exposed to the American reality, and they are understandably, rationally, justifiably mad. They don't want the second-hand consignment shop, thrift store version of hope that America offers them. They don't want free lunch. They want equal opportunity. They don't want affirmative action. They want an education system that isn't plagued with institutional racism to begin with. They don't want apologies. They want us to be committed to getting it right the first time. They don't want reparations. They want America to deliver on its promise of life and liberty for all who choose to pursue it, and they choose to pursue it. They don't want to rent the dream. They don't want to lease it. They don't want to borrow it and bring it back. They want to own it. They want to own it. And we look at this generation and we say they're entitled. Don't want to work for nothing, always got your hand out for something, but they are merely doing what we have told them to do. They are not settling for the leftover dreams that America is trying to offer them. But that doesn't make them entitled, it makes them right. They want their fair share. We have promised them some things, we've not delivered. What do we expect? We've equipped them with weapons of knowledge and independence and self-sufficiency. And we've placed them in an America that aims to do nothing but silence them. And I am telling you that they will either passionately explode or pitifully self-destruct. Black youth in America find themselves in a peculiar predicament, and it has a name. It's called struggle. And I hear the word used very often, but I don't think that we grasp the depth of the definition of the word struggle. To struggle and to lose are two totally different things. They are not synonymous. To lose is to surrender. To struggle is to be so thoroughly committed to winning that you use forceful, violent tactics to throw off whatever force it is that is threatening your victory. That's what it is to struggle. The entire premise, the entire point of the word struggle is to win. It's to triumph. Black youth in America find themselves in a perpetual state of struggle.